Hello everyone, welcome to this sixth video on Google Sheets. So in the last video, we have discussed how to create formulated metrics like this so here we are using the COVID data. So from here in this formulated report, we are calculating the number of days where the daily new cases were greater than a particular limit which is mentioned here in C1. So we saw three different ways of formulating it without using name range, and even using name range we can do it like this, where we are using count if error filter combination, or we can use count ifs. And we also discussed that this if error filter way of doing things with name range is a bit easier as compared to count ifs. Now in this video we will try to achieve similar results using pivots. So pivots, those who have used Excel must be very familiar with pivots, and it's the I would say it's one of the fastest way to get some quick results from your data set. So to get monthly numbers using pivot, I've just added two columns which was done earlier. So here you can see that this is a year month column which is added using text function, where I am using this date field and getting the year out of it, and then I am concatenating it with the month using underscore. And similarly, I've just added a column where I'm getting the year for these particular dates. So now to create a pivot, you just click anywhere on your data, do Control A, whole data would be selected, and then you click on Insert Pivot Table, and then it will ask whether you want to create this in a new sheet or the existing sheet. So preferably we create it in a new sheet. So I'll just create it in a new sheet. Okay, so now you can see that all the columns in the data is available here, and there are a few fields. So you can create a matrix by adding some column on rows, on some columns from here as columns. Then in values, you can add a particular column to get some count, and some other options are also there. And then you can add, if you want, you can add a column to filter the data set as well. So this is how it will be done. Now here you can see in the last video we created something like this, where you had countries as columns, the month, year, month as row, and then there is some filter on daily new cases, and then we are getting the sum of the daily new cases. So similar kind of thing we'll do here using pivot. So we'll first add country on rows, so it will populate all the countries available here in rows, you see. Then in columns we had year, month, so I'll add year, month in columns. So it has added all the year, month in ascending order. So first you have 2020 February, then 2020 March, like that. But you don't need all the year months. So I'll just put this in filter as well, and I'll filter for a particular year. So here we used the calendar year 2021. So we'll just filter it for calendar year 2021. We can select multiple values from here, or we can just put this year in the filter as well, and you will select 2021 only. Okay, so now we have these cells for 2021 only here. We may not need this, so we can remove it. In the values, You want daily new cases. So I'll just add daily new cases here in values, and then it's summarizing it by sum. You have other options as well, but here we are just interested in taking the sum. But if you see, the numbers here are different from what the numbers we calculated here. And the reason is, here in the formula we were taking the sum of the values if those values were above a certain threshold. So, and the threshold was added here in C1. So if I just make it 0, the numbers will automatically change to what you have seen earlier. So in Brazil, for example, it's 1.54 million. So here you can see that it's the same 1.54 million. In India, it's 0.47 million. So here also it's 0.47. Similarly, you can see, observe that the numbers here are all same. Now, what if you want to do something similar to what we have done here in pivots as well? For example, I want to filter records where it is greater than, say, 1 million. There's no such, so everything is zero. So if it's greater than 100,000, and we can see that in January 2021, only USA has some numbers while rest of the countries don't. Even in February, only USA have some numbers. So let's see how we can do it here using pivots. To do that, we'll have to use again add this daily new cases to filter. So we'll just add it. Sorry, the year filter got removed. So we'll add it as well. Okay. So we'll have to add both this filter together. So daily new cases, I'll just add it below. Yeah. And now I have to filter for cases which are greater than 100K. So I'll go for filter by condition, and then I'll mention greater than or equal to 100,000. Select OK. And now you can see that you are getting the same number. So 6350802, 6350802. And similarly, in February, again the numbers are matching. And because there are all these values are zero in March, the March column has disappeared from. So maybe these are some of the challenges with pivots. So if something is not present, the whole column will not be available. But when you are creating a table yourself, you are adding these rows and column values yourself, and then you are formulating this way. So that option is with you. So nothing will disappear from there. So this is, I think that is why even I preferably create a matrix and formulate the cells there when I have to create any report in Google Sheets. So yeah, so if I change it to say 10K, March 2021, March will appear again. So here you can see that we now have 2021 March. Now, on top of this, you can always add conditional formatting. So if I select all the cells here and I go to conditional formatting, then I can again do similar kind of thing as greater than or equal to, say, 5 million or zero point 0.5 million. I'll just highlight them as red. These are pretty high value. So like this, you can add conditional formatting here. Okay. So now we will create another pivot table to get number of days in a particular month for a particular country where the number of daily new cases are above a certain threshold. It would be similar to the numbers we are seeing here. To do that, we'll again go to COVID data, click anywhere, then on keyboard we'll do Control A, all the data would be selected, then we'll click on Insert Pivot Table, and we'll again create it on a new sheet. Now here, to do something similar to this, we again need countries on rows and year, month on column. So we'll do the same thing. We'll add countries on rows, year, month on column. We'll select year here, here as 2021, and then we'll add in values. So we can count daily new cases, any of these we can count. So let's count country. So we'll automatically count countries here. So so just by adding this, you'll see that all these numbers, all the number of days present in that particular month, it's showing same here. But you have to add another condition here, which is daily new cases greater than a particular threshold. So we'll filter it by condition where it is greater than or equal to 10K. So if you do the same, we see this kind of result. So here in 2021 1 or January 2021, Brazil 31, India 29, Mexico 25, UK 31, USA 31. You see, you get the same numbers here. In March, for Mexico and UK, it's 0. And now it is not showing 0 here, it's blank. But yeah, consider it to be 0. Now, if you want to change this to, say, 100K, the numbers here will change. So it's all 0 for March. And if I do it here by editing the pivot greater than equal to 100K, again this March month will disappear from the table. So as highlighted earlier, this is one challenge that you may face. So if you are building a report and if you are adding a screenshot from here, you may get a question, where is the month of March? So even if it is 0, it should be there in your report. So yeah, that is one thing you should be careful about. Okay, so that's all for today. If you like the video, do subscribe my channel, do share it with your friends, and in the next video we will discuss about a very important topic, that is using a formula, lookups and multiple VLOOKUPs.